Yo, what's good, everybody? It's man Legacy the Prince.
I am Queen Lee.
It's your boy DJ B4EY.
Yes, sir. It's the Fresh Leftovers Radio Show. FlowRadioshow.com. You know the vibes. We live and certified. Listen!
I wasn't ready for the bombs, bro.
We got a special guest in the building. Get the bombs ready, sir.
Give me a second, bro. We had to shut this whole thing down. You know this. Everything got shut down, bro.
It's all good, man. It's all good. It's all good. You want me to start over?
There we go.
Right on time. Listen, we got a special guest in the building. All the way from California.
California, for real?
All the way from technically.
But all the way from Jersey, for real.
Oh, you from Jersey?
I'm from Jersey.
Yo, we got Ramota in the building, y'all. All the way from Jersey-fornia.
Jersey.
I didn't know you was from Jersey, man.
Yeah.
New California. Just did it.
Yeah. I live there, but I'm not from there.
You're not from, okay.
I'm a sojourner passing through.
Ah, I feel you.
I love
you. How you doing, Mota?
I'm doing amazing. I'm so happy to be here with y'all.
Man, it's a pleasure to have you. You know, Mota comes with a lot of nostalgia when you drop her name now.
So to have her here as her own entity.
As her own.
Okay?
That's crazy.
That's how you know it's something different.
A lot of people gonna be mad. I'm just like.
That's how you know it's something different.
Nah, yo.
Her own.
It's because I remember when I went to California the last intensive that we had in December, and yo, as soon as we walked in, like I know prior to going, God was kind of talking to me about like strongholds. That's I kept hearing that in my spirit. I remember I told y'all, like I just kept hearing strongholds. I'm like, stronghold? I ain't got no stronghold. Like that's different. That's the ones.
Strong.
That's the ones you can't get out. Like them the ones. You know what I'm saying? Strongholds. I ain't got no strongholds. So I went to California. As soon as I walked in and I was checking in, I was like, yeah. So you know, Mota was on the mic. Yeah. So we gonna be talking about strongholds today. I was like,
dang.
I knew she was about to get me. The moment you started preaching or teaching,
okay,
it was like I was in the back, tore back. Like I was tore back.
Wow.
I was like, yo, and it was like the way you was going. It's crazy, man. So it's a pleasure to have you here. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
I'm amongst family.
Because you know.
Almost?
I said I'm amongst family.
I was about to say I'm almost family like that. That's
That's crazy. That's crazy. So you originally from Jersey?
Originally from Nigeria. I was born in Nigeria.
I'm confused now.
See?
I would have had some Afro beats playing in the back.
How many years in each?
Okay, I was born in Lagos, Nigeria. Full everything Nigerian. I moved to the States when I was 2 years old with my family.
Okay.
And I lived in Jersey my whole life until 2018. Yeah, when I moved to CR.
Tough.
And I didn't plan on staying, but then I stayed.
Couldn't help it.
So what was life like prior to CR? Because I know I heard a little bit about your testimony, and then you know what I'm saying. So.
Yeah. So January 2018. Oh no, November 2017. I was working in the city. I was working in the fashion industry. I did a lot of like production, casting, things like that. And one day I had woke up and like emailed my boss that I wasn't coming back. No 2 weeks notice. It was just like, I'm done with this. 2 weeks later, I end up going to like a worship service that my sister invited me to.
Uh-huh.
And the rest was kind of history. I was just like, I wasn't walking with the Lord at the time.
So what was that like? You're not walking with the Lord.
I was not walking with the Lord. I was in the streets.
In the streets, how?
When you say in the streets,
when you say in the streets, how?
Okay, so I just was a party girl. I was a socialite. Everything had to be everywhere. Had to be cute. This is like a scene girl. So it was partying all the time in the club all the time.
And this is in LA?
This was in California. No. I'm lying. That was in New Jersey.
Oh, I was going to say you was partying in Nigeria.
Put the mic a little bit closer.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Test.
There we go.
Hey, that sounds good.
Yeah.
But yeah, life was ghetto. Like it was kind of like being an immigrant. I was chasing the American dream. So I wanted to have the best job, make the most money, climb the success ladder. And I was doing that. And I just felt so empty. I'm like, I got everything the society tells me that I need to have to be someone.
Right.
But why do I feel
empty
still? And that was kind of the beginning of my awakening. And I quit my job. And the Lord snatched me up.
Like cold turkey quit?
Like
or you just gave yourself 2 weeks?
No, there was no 2 weeks notice. Hey Maria, I will not be returning to work. And I wrote it with an attitude.
Oh, really? All caps?
Yeah. No, it wasn't all caps. You know when you try to be like professional, but you spicy on the email?
Yeah.
It was like that.
Cause you know you're leaving it. First of all, I just want to let you know.
My last email.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then she CC everybody on it. The boss, the bigger boss.
I had wrote crazy email and sent it to my coworker. Like, all right, this is my quitting email. He was like, do not send that.
Yeah.
Too late.
and then so I didn't send it. I wrote like a one-liner.
Little sweet.
Yeah.
Thank you for everything.
I'm not the person that I wasn't the person that y'all know today.
I can tell. I kind of heard.
Did they ask you why you was quitting?
I was like at the end of myself. Like I always knew I was made for something more than I was doing, and that the money, the fame, I wasn't famous at all, but the desire for that to be known and like have a reputation. I just it was like, this is nothing. I know that there's something else. And even though I grew up in church, I was untransformed. I just sat in services like 3-4 days a week.
And this is in Jersey, growing up in church.
Go on that.
I was just talking to my client about that today.
That's crazy. I grew up as a PK.
Really?
Yeah.
Partying and smoking and all that.
But okay, so I was
stereotype.
I was like a moral, like I had good morals.
What that mean?
Like I was like a church girl. Like I was going to church, but I was untransformed. But then when I became of age, like when I became like 20, I started clubbing, started having sex, started drinking, started doing all that. And that lasted for like, how old was I? Like 25 when I got saved?
Oh, that was like last week.
No, I'm 31.
I'm joking.
So I have a question. I was talking about this with my coworker. How was growing up as a PK? Like, how was your parents? Like,
my parents are dope.
Nigerian?
They used to be Muslim. So.
Oh shoot.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's a long story, y'all.
They used to be.
I mean, we got time.
Okay, so I come from a Muslim background. Hence my last name Mustapha. Hence my first name Ramota. My whole name is Arabic.
Okay.
What does it mean?
My last name means chosen. My first name means...
drop a bomb on that for sure.
My first name means Ramota, LOL. My first name means compassion and mercy. So I kind of like it. I dig it.
Yeah.
But so my parents were Muslim. My dad had 2 wives. Like that's how Muslim he was. So I don't know. I was talking to Carlton's mom yesterday, trying to figure out how did we end up being Christian. But when I was younger, I had no biblical context for salvation or anything. So I used to say stuff like, "Oh, I was born Christian," because that's all I knew.
Right.
But I didn't know that I had to believe in my heart and confess with my mouth. And then I did that, and I got saved.
But you said you grew up. Like, how was that growing up? Like, what was the life like for you? Like, how did your parents, I guess, raise you? And then how was the persona of being a PK?
Yeah, my parents had a very strong value for prayer. So even though I was untransformed, I knew that prayer was legit. Like our family prayed all the time. We fasted all the time. I just was familiar with religion. I was doing my parents' thing. Like, oh, this is what we do as a family. We're going to pray. We're going to fast. We're going to go to church. This is what we do. But I never really read the Bible. I never really studied the Bible. So prayer without the word, it doesn't really, what are you praying? Like I don't know the truth. I don't know the word. So, and then, the church I was going to, it's like Greenleaf Church. So I'm in church. I'm around church people all the time. I'm like, you're untransformed. I'm untransformed. We just playing.
Blind leading the blind.
Yeah. So that it just was empty. But then when I got saved at the top of 2018, it was because my sister, she got saved. And all her friends. So Jonathan, Anasia, Elijah, Evangelia, they were all a friend group. And they will be at our house all the time doing Jesus
Wilding.
Yes.
What is Jesus?
Oh, Jesus.
They're younger than me. We're like 4 or 5 years apart.
Oh, wow.
They're my sister's friend group. And so they would be at our house, like watching sermons, praying, reading a Bible. And here I go scrilling out to the club with my little dress on. I'm like, look at them. They're so cute. They love Jesus.
And I'm out the door.
So I had quit my job at the end of 2017. And one day at the top of 2018 was January 2nd. My sister was on the way out with her friends to go to Resting Place, which was it's a house of prayers. It was like a worship night. Yeah. She was like, "Oh, Mota, do you want to come?" She had invited me many times prior to that, and I always said no. But for whatever reason, this time I said yes. And I went with her, and I went to that service, and I was so uncomfortable because 1, I felt like I didn't belong there because I knew the type of life I was living, and 2, everyone was worshiping God so extravagantly, and I'm like, I feel so uncomfortable. But even though I was uncomfortable, I didn't run. It actually made me really curious because I'm like, what do they know about God that I don't? that they are just like fully don't care about their surroundings or how they look while they're worshiping. I'm like, this is real. And I grew up in a Holy Spirit filled church, and I knew the presence of God was there. So I was attracted to that. And so, I got really curious, and my curiosity led me back to the Lord.
So that night you gave yourself back to the Lord?
It was like January 16th. So however many days that is.
14?
16. Is that 14
days? You said 18, so it's 16.
Yeah. It just so happened that the House of Prayer was starting like a school of ministry thing, to like a discipleship thing. And I had gotten saved at the time that was starting. So instead of going back to work, I just did the school, and I never went back to work. I literally never went back to work since then.
So you left work and then went straight into discipleship. Well, left work, had your encounter with Jesus.
Yeah.
Then went to discipleship school.
Yeah. Like I learned how to hear the voice of God, and that was like revolutionary for me.
Explain that to me.
Okay. So
what does that mean? Hearing
the voice of God. I realized that I could have a relationship with him. And the same way that me and Aaliyah are friends, and she talking to me and I'm talking to her, is the same thing with the Lord. But I never knew that was a thing, because the church I grew up in was super Pentecostal, super Holy Spirit filled, but I was always a spectator to the Holy Spirit. I'm like the super anointed people, they hear God and then they tell us.
That is, I grew up in Pentecostal.
Wow.
I grew up in Pentecostal.
Yeah, so
too.
That was really revolutionary to me. I'm like, because I never counted myself as a super spiritual person as the church I grew up in made it seem.
Right.
I hate that so much that because I was talking to, even my little sister, I was talking to her on Sunday, and I was just like, yo, because right now she's in a space where she loves, she's encountering God differently now, coming to evolve, right?
Wow.
And she was there on Monday as well. Wow. Like she was in a parking lot, tears in her eyes. She was just like, yo, like we grew up in church a certain way and we've been missing God in this type of way. Wow. I was just like, yes, it's like, I had to go through a process of unlearning church and relearning kingdom.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And she was just had tears in her eyes. And it was just like, you saying that is so powerful, because it's just like, it's so detrimental how they kind of brainwash us to see the hierarchy of how God speaks. Like where it doesn't seem like your regular person that come to church can also hear from God. Yeah. It's really like, yo, pastor's here, he's the one, and then he got his crew around.
Go him and he my middleman.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? And you got the specific anointed ones that are the oracles that hear from God. I'm like, yo,
I'm just happy to be here.
I'm just like, yo, I'm
tell me what
trying to drink a little juice and some crackers.
So with that being said, because I find that as a fault of like us not reading the Bible for ourselves, and because of that, that's why we don't know that that we no longer have to go to a pastor, or be bounded by what a pastor says. In a sense, not necessarily, like just basically, I don't have to hear what you have to tell me what my life is supposed to be. Because I've seen that growing up in church. Now I didn't grow up Pentecostal, but I've seen that in some churches where the pastor he was like he was really on some crazy stuff about finding out how much money they make, how much tithes they putting in the tithes the right way. I'm like, bro, it's not even.
He sound like the police. That wasn't
financial police.
Yeah. Right.
So how did they, like, what was their encounter when they Muslims and then now they became Christians? What was that like? Did you ever talk with them about that?
No, I was talking to Carlton's mom yesterday, because she was asking me these same questions, and I was like, I actually don't know the answer to this, and I want to know. What I do know is unrelated to my parents. My mom's mom was married to her husband, which was my mom's dad. He was a hardcore Muslim, and she started to sneak to go to church and was reading the Bible and stuff like that, and eventually became a Christian. He found out and basically gave her an ultimatum, like, it's either me or Jesus, basically. And she chose Jesus. And I just thought that was so cool, because
he left?
Yeah, like she basically got kicked out the
Disowned,
house.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like that's like, I don't know Muslim.
Same thing like Pastor Moses.
Yeah.
How he got disowned out of his whole tribe pretty much. Yeah.
And I just felt that was so cool because when I read the scriptures about like the counting the costs to follow Jesus, like she really counted a major cost.
Yeah.
She couldn't be in the house with her children. My mom is the oldest, so my mom naturally took the maternal like role in the house. And it makes me beg the question, like, what did she encounter in God?
Right.
That she said, this is a hard decision, but I'm going to choose Jesus.
So that was your grandma, right?
Mm-hmm.
So grandma got kicked out.
Mm-hmm.
Grandma could not see mom and the kids no more.
I don't know if they couldn't see each other, but she wasn't living in the house. Like her financial security, her support system, all that is cut off. Now she's on her own somewhere else, going to church.
That's
and not to the mosque. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
The mosque, yeah. Okay. All right, we cooking up, man.
Already.
We gonna run off into a break real quick. We got more with Ramota when we get back.
I love when people say
y'all keep it loud. Keep it loud.
What's up, family? This is Jay Boski Beats, and you are now tuned in to the Fresh Leftovers Radio Show. Hey, man, they the hardest out right now. Tap in.
Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your man, Legacy the Prince.
I am Julie.
It's your boy, DJ B4UI.
Yes, sir. It's the Fresh Leftovers Radio Show, flowradioshow.com. You know the vibes. We live and certified, baby. We in the building right now, man.
Yeah.
We got the big homie, one and only Ramota, kicking it with us.
The big homie, one and only. That's wild.
Big homie, one and only.
Mota
the OG out here in the CR
a
Street.
woman.
No, it's
my fault.
I was like, yo,
He's so used to us interviewing men. The big homie. Gang in the
My
building.
fault.
No.
I'm sorry. We got the
Why don't you
anointed.
do it then? Why don't you do it, Liz?
That's what I'm saying, bro.
I will call Mota. I will call her.
Oh my God.
The illustrious.
What is she gonna say?
Sunflower.
The dream team builder herself.
Come on.
Ramota Mustapha.
I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I like that. All right.
She's
Okay.
so aggressive, bro.
That's what I'm saying. I'm scared to introduce her to the next segment.
Just remember what she said, bro.
Nah, she gonna do it.
All right.
Bet it up. All right, so so before we left, man, Ramota, you was talking, and you was just taking us on the journey.
Mm-hmm.
And of course you went, we got to the point where you got into discipleship school.
Yeah.
First, was it CR that you got into?
No,
it was a different
local community.
It was a local
Jersey, yeah.
Okay, so what was that like? Like you quitting your job and then you just feeling pulled to go into this full-time missionary evangelism, discipleship. Like what was that like?
It felt like a whole new world. I felt like I was literally how the Bible says you must be born again. I legitimately felt like born again. So I started
going with you?
Huh?
Your sister was there with you?
Yeah, she was there. So it just was like I was in a prayer room. It's like going to greenhouse all the time. So
What's
I was in a prayer.
Greenhouse?
It's a prayer room that we used to go to in California.
Okay.
But this is a New Jersey version. So they had prayer sets all the time, and I would just be in the presence. And so yeah, I talked about I learned how to hear the voice of God, but I also learned God as a father. And that was a big deal for me because my dad left our family. And so
hold on, what?
Yeah, I told you really.
Dang, this is wild. I thought he got saved. Then he left.
He left with 2 wives? Yo, you know how?
Anyway, no.
Right.
I love that man still. He got his own stuff.
Yeah.
Bro, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You talk to your dad?
Yeah, we talk a little bit here and there. I wish we talked more.
Yeah.
He lives in Nigeria now.
Okay.
Oh, he went back.
Yeah.
So after he left, he immediately went back, or it was a while?
He didn't leave on purpose. Like he didn't, he caught a case.
Oh shoot. What we talking about?
Yeah, go ahead. Unpack that. Go ahead. Unpack that, Ramota. We got to hear this.
Unpack what you can talk about.
Yeah, we don't want to,
Unfortunately, Nigerians are scammers sometimes.
Interesting.
So my dad,
he
got a case. Yeah. And he fled the country and went back to Nigeria. But then they left a mess behind, obviously, because 7 kids. Mom.
Shoot, 7?
Yeah. And so I grew up from 8th grade without my dad.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And so discovering God as a father was a huge deal because there was a massive void in my heart and in my life in a lot of ways, emotionally, practically,
right?
So many ways. So that was a big deal for me. And the immediate beginning of my journey with God, the Lord started touching areas that like were so like tucked away. Like it was immediate healing. And I just remember crying all the time. Like, I'm like, why am I crying? But so many emotions that were stuffed down were coming to surface and the Lord wanted to deal with it. And like, I didn't know that I even had unforgiveness towards my dad, but I had to unpack that, forgive him, and try to have compassion for the situation. And it was a journey. And I'm just so happy that I had the Lord to go through it with. But I started reading the Bible. Third thing that was revolutionary for me. I never really read the Bible when I was younger. I just was around Bible reading, Bible study, but there was no personal initiation and ownership of like, okay, I want to unpack the scriptures for myself. And so when I got saved, or when I actually became a disciple of Jesus, because I was just under I'm a Christian, it was more of a label, nominated. But when I became a disciple of Jesus and following him, I started to read the Bible. And that was like, I just had a great time in the scriptures. And when
Where did you start?
Where did I start?
Yeah, in the scriptures.
I don't really remember, but I remember specifically reading the story of Josiah in the Bible and like light bulbs flying.
Wow.
Because if you're listening and you're not familiar with the story of Josiah, basically he was like the youngest king in Israel. And they had discovered the book of the law in like Rumble somewhere. And it was brought to him and he's like, oh snap, like I've been leading wrong this whole time. And so he tore his clothes and repented his conviction. And from that moment, he started leading in the ways of the Lord according to the law. Absolutely. And that hit me so hard because I've always had influence. I was always a leader before influencers was a thing. Like I was always influential in my environments and in my friend groups. And it hit me that I was leading people in the wrong direction. Like,
I got you.
That story hit me so hard. Like I'm gonna embarrass myself. I'm gonna tell this crazy story.
Yeah, do tell. Wow.
So in the vein of like leadership and influence and all that, I remember being in high school and I was on a bus with a friend. And I don't know what possessed me, clearly the devil. But I said to her, I basically dared her to go snatch this lady's purse and run.
You talking about like on a MARTA bus kind of thing?
No, just like a regular city bus.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Y'all call it MARTA.
Yeah, we call it MARTA. I wasn't for sure. After she said bus, I didn't know if it was school or something.
Yeah, it was a city bus.
Okay.
And she did it. And I was like, why would you do that?
That was such an accident. I was trying to get her. I'm sorry.
Bro, what are you doing?
I was trying to get her.
How did you do that over there?
I'm sorry. It was for you.
Anyway, she
That's snatched it. I embarrassed
she
myself.
did it, and cops got involved, and I was just like so afraid because I was like, one, I'm a dummy because why would I tell her to do that? But also, you're a dummy because why would you do it? Yeah. We were just both dumb. And but that was my first moment realizing that like I was a leader and that I can either lead someone in the right direction or in the wrong direction.
Tell me what the name mean again? Last name?
My last name? It means chosen. My last name is Mustapha.
Yeah. Chosen. And what was the first name again?
Compassion and mercy. But it's my name. My name is Ramota.
Oh yeah. No. I was just trying to say what the meaning because you said leadership and I was trying to connect the dots.
Yeah. And so that was like a rude awakening for me. And I had so much fear and shame around it because the parents got involved and she told them the truth that I told them to do. And I'm like, no, I didn't. Because I was afraid. A mess. But I always think about that. I think about it even today as a leader because everyone is a leader. Like leaders are born. Like they're like anyone has a potential to be a leader. And whether you identify or see yourself as a leader or not, you're influencing people every day of your life in every scenario. And if we take audit and like take a look at our lives, like what am I influencing people to do? Who am I leading them to? What lifestyle am I inspiring them to live? There's so much to think about in that area. And I just love I love that story. Not that I'm happy that I did it, but that was my first moment I was in high school and I was like, wow, that's scary. And I like today I have the fear of the Lord over the way I live my life and what I'm leading people to do.
I got a story like that. That's crazy.
You got a story like that? I want to hear it. I embarrassed myself.
I was about to say, and you threw that thing at her.
No, I'm saying. First of all, I apologize. It was not aimed at you.
It's okay. I was quick. I was like,
yeah, she was. It was aimed at. It was definitely aimed at you.
Sis, you got anything?
Yeah. So after this whole life-changing discipleship training thing that you went to, how did you get to CR after that?
Okay, y'all, I cannot make this up. The Freedom Manual that we so love dearly was in my living room.
Is
who? How do you get in your living room?
I'm gonna tell you.
She about to explain the story.
Go let her cook.
I'm minding my business on a hot summer day. It's like a clean July 7th. I don't know. I'm sitting in the living room and I saw the spine of the book. It said Freedom Manual. I'm like, what's that? Mind you, I'm like maybe 7 months into following Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with deliverance. For whatever reason, I'm so obsessed with getting free.
So let's go. We're all trying to get there.
And I pick up the book. I'm like, oh, what is this? And it's like, it's like a workbook. So that one was written in and like incredible. And I was like, wow, I want one. So I went on Google to try to buy one for myself. I'm searching up and down. I cannot find it anywhere. Like I was searching for like 20 minutes. I couldn't find it anywhere. So I give up. I put it back on the table and I happened to put it on the backside facing up. And that's how I saw the circuit rider logo. So then I Googled, all right, let me Google circuit riders. I Googled circuit riders. It takes me to the website and I'm looking around the website. My heart is beating so fast out of my chest. Cause I had never, it was just videos and pictures of young people basically in love with Jesus. And I'm like, what is this? I need to be a part of this. Where are they? I click around. I saw that they have the circuit rider experience. I applied, got in, found out I had to raise money and almost was like, never mind.
What was that experience like for you?
The Lord stripped me.
Wait, I want to know who was it?
It got in my house because Carry the Love had came to my sister's school. And one of her friends left it at our house.
Wow, that's the Lord. Yeah. That's so intentional.
It was placed there by him. It was crazy. But what was I about to say?
Your experience of having to raise the money, like to
humbling.
Very humbling. Very humbling. There's two sides of it. I'm Nigerian. We do not ask for help. Like, yeah. It's I
think it's Haitian.
Yeah,
That's Haitian.
But yeah, I had so much pride, and I was like Miss Independent poster child. Like I ate that up. Like I got my own money. I'm building my own life. It's me. I ate that up. So the thought of fundraising made me want to puke. But then I did it because I didn't have a job. And the Lord just provided for me. Like I had so much fear of man just asking someone for money. Like I'm like, I don't want you to think that I need you. But that was like the Lord wanted me to need
That's fear of man?
Yeah, fear of man. Because I was afraid of what they would think of me. Of like, because I built up this reputation. I'm like, this goes against the reputation that I built up. Me asking for help, me asking for money is very anti-Miss Independent woman. So the Lord was stripping me away. I didn't even get to CR school yet. That really stripped me.
That's crazy. So I know when you got there.
Yeah.
It was a humbling.
So when you got to CR school, how was it?
Okay.
What was your experience? Because now you're like, there's a big like shift between as far as like where you're at.
That person was so different from this person today.
Interesting.
Did you have a culture shock?
Oh, 1,000%. There's so much I can say. Okay, I at the time CR, we probably had like maybe 8-10 Black people in a community of maybe we were probably like half the size of 300 now. So maybe it was like 150. Moving across the country, I was really, really excited. And I knew I was going to be a minority. So kind of like braced myself for it. And my discipleship house that I was living in, everyone was younger than me. Like my roommates were like 18.
That's how I felt.
Girl.
I felt so poor.
She said, what?
I say that because them 18-year-olds brought their cars. Their parents came with them. It was crazy.
Yes.
And so asking for rides and stuff, I felt like a peasant. I'm 26 at the time. And I'm asking this little, hey, can you take me to the grocery store?
Yo.
You got to understand this before I allowed the Lord to humble me. So yes, that is how I felt.
I was 26 too. So I had just turned 26 like right before moving there. And it was like die to your self-centered. Like there's like the person that's responsible for me is literally almost a decade apart from me. And the Lord is working submission in me. He's working humility in me.
Younger?
Yes, our house leaders. Now, I'm glad I had Bijou.
Yes.
But the rest of Laura, Hannah, so young. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, your leaders. So, say if an 18-year-old after their CR experience want to join staff, they have the opportunity. And if, the leaders hear from God, yes, they should join. They're 18. The next cycle of kids that's coming in, you could be their house leader.
Mm-hmm. I personally have no problem with that.
You say that now.
I have an 18-year-old who's over our production team. He's the leader of the production team.
Yeah, but that's let me tell you why that's so different. You going in just for a 2-hour, 5-hour experience. This is a
day-to-day life.
3-month thing. You were living with this person, have to answer to this person, having individual one-on-ones with this person. They're trying to give you advice. They're trying to walk you. I guess
totally the person on him now probably won't have a problem with it. Let me say that.
I'm say that. But
maybe if I was 26 years old, I probably
Lamar probably was like, what do you want? Little kid.
26?
You probably be like, I'm just waiting for everybody to shut
up. You?
What you mean?
Now?
Yeah.
We got 30 seconds. I'm about to flame you. You now?
What about it?
Bro, nah, you
I'm so glad. I did not know we had the same experience.
Yeah.
26.
But I'm different though.
Oh, do you feel like the Lord placed you in the right house?
Oh, I have no regrets. Yeah. I wouldn't want anything to be different because I needed that formation.
Yeah.
Like I needed the pride worked out of me. I needed the anger, the impatience. I was so impatient. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And I was so independent. Like if the number one sin in my life, it was independence. Yes. Yep. I hated leaning on other people.
Yeah.
And today I'm so team. Like I'm like, please, I need you. Like your strength is my weakness. Like we're stronger and better together.
Yeah.
And so
wow,
I wouldn't change anything because I needed that formation. And I really like my experience with CR because in most places I feel like you get like spiritual formation. But CR really, you get spiritual formation and leadership formation. And I needed that because I wouldn't have known that I would be doing what I'm doing today.
Yeah.
So it was valuable in ways that I can't even explain.
That's powerful.
Yeah, I'll be telling anybody, do a CR experience. It will literally change your life.
I want to.
I'm talking like a 6 months.
But I got kids. Like I can't just up and go.
I mean, it's different for married people, but like if you
are they accommodating for people like that?
Yeah.
Married folks?
I mean, they never did it, but married people. We have so many married couples.
No,
I'm not talking about couples that met in CR school.
We're talking about like a married couple want to do CR.
Yeah, we have like Maddie Unra and her husband. They did the school married.
Oh wow! So did they live together?
They live together. Yeah, they just will accommodate housing for that.
Okay.
Children too.
I mean, it's never been done, but you could do it. Like, cause people be having kids. People get married young.
How am I going to tour with my baby?
It's not a wife. You'll figure out.
I mean, you probably need to do it now while she's not in like school.
My son is
like grade school. You get what I'm saying? This probably be the time where you need to do it like now.
I need to take a lean in.
Or do the summer one. You
talking about the
wait, how? No, still won't work. Yeah, you probably just need to do the 10 days.
What's the summer one?
Yeah, we about to go on the break right now.
Keep that in there, please.
All right, look, man.
We never had a guest ask us, can I use the bathroom on air?
Can I tinkle, please?
I really have to pee so bad.
All right, look, man. We got more Ramota when we come back, man. So y'all keep it locked.
That is so funny.
What's going on? It's your boy DKG Kai here at the Fresh Leftovers Radio Show. Man, y'all gonna make sure y'all tap in with them.
Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your man Legacy the Prince.
I am Queen Lee.
It's your boy DJ P4EY.
Yes, sir. It's the Fresh Leftovers Radio Show. FlowRadioshow.com. You know the vibes. We live and certified.
Drop that.
We got a special guest in the building still kicking it with us. Sis, who we got?
You say
go ahead.
Okay, we have a mega dream team builder, Mota Mustapha in the building.
Hey, I like that. Mota.
So speaking of,
hold on, wait.
Oh,
not yet. Don't jump into that yet.
Okay.
We get halfway in here. Yeah, cause I want to dive some more into the circuit rider.
Okay.
So now you entered into circuit rider. Now you're a circuit rider, and you're going through this process of just pruning and getting all these different things off. Mm-hmm. At what point did you know, like, this is what I'm going to spend the rest of my life doing?
Hold on, who said it?
I was about to ask her the same thing.
Not necessarily just that. Mm-hmm. School or whatever the case might be, but like missions.
Yeah.
Like that's what I meant. Like this is what I'm doing for real.
So during my tour, a part of our tour was the very first Send. So the Send is a stadium gathering that really helps commission young people into their mission field. So whether it's you want to reach universities or high schools or fill in the blank, everyone has their own mission field. Yeah. So I was at the Send and I felt the Lord asking me, like I literally heard, I know you want to go, because I want to go home so bad to serve my city. Like I wanted to bring the gospel and adopt Newark as my mission field and see young people meet Christ there. And there was a African American segment at the Send where this guy was preaching and he's like, I know you want to go home to your own hood to see revival there, but right now the Lord is sending you out. And I was like,
wow.
Oh my God.
I was so shook. And then I told Yaz, I'm like, Yaz, I think the Lord is wanting me to stay here. And she was like, just pray and ask him. And I did that. And he asked me to stay and I just stayed and I haven't left yet. Yeah.
What's the most fulfilling part?
It's two parts. Seeing transformation, people get free, but also seeing them empowered as leaders. I love like people stepping out and owning the fact that they're a leader.
That's amazing.
Why is discipleship so important?
That's such a great question.
I think at least for my personal life, like I can't even fathom how on earth I sat in church services my entire life and did not know Jesus, wasn't transformed. Like that to me is mind-boggling. And so for me, I'm like, one, the Western church has such a passive view towards the cross.
Facts. I'm sorry.
It's like, oh, Jesus paid it all on the cross. He did it. It is finished. He did do it, and it is indeed finished. But that doesn't mean we just sit back and wait for a magic trick to happen in our personal transformation. Like because he finished it all on the cross, it demands a certain type of response for the way that we live. So I have to take ownership for my freedom. I have to take ownership for my personal transformation. And sometimes it's so passive of like, oh, so-and-so is not discipling me. But biblically, discipleship is not an adjective. Like it's to be a disciple is a noun. So following Jesus is a state of being. Like you have to be a follower. There's no like, oh, discipling. Oh, I'm discipling today. Like I don't know. It's like it's not an adjective in the Bible. Yeah. And so I think a lot of people, unfortunately, they sit back and wait for someone to form them. But Jesus is our former. And so I had to take, and I encourage others to take personal responsibility for their transformation through practicing his way.
Yeah.
And what's his way? It's reading the Bible, it's prayer, it's fasting, it's solitude, it's meditation, it's all the practices and rhythms of Jesus that we see all throughout the gospel is how disciples are formed into his likeness.
Because I was going to ask, how do you achieve that level of transformation that you went to without going to the school? Like I'm in Atlanta, the school's all the way out there.
You don't need the school.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So how would you suggest for like the listeners out there to, anybody who's trying to thrive in that specific area or just trying to get to the next level? Like, I seen Aaliyah go off and come. Well, we all did. We see her go off and come back, and it's just like, oh, she different. Like, can we crack jokes around you or not? Like, at first, I had to get used to like, yo, do you still laugh or like? It was a little different. Like, you know what I'm saying? That she can't lay in the hammer. She was just like, guys, we're going to stop doing this. We're not doing this no more. God said to cut this out. God said that. I'm starting this next week. Like, we going to pray. Like, it's like, yes, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it was needed. You know? But like, back to my question, right? I'm just being silly. Somebody's here. How do you achieve that without necessarily going to the school?
Yeah, I would say that in the same way we talked about it a little bit earlier, of like trying to avoid placing a middleman in between your relationship with Jesus.
Yeah,
you don't need anybody CR school, CR experience, anything. You need the Bible. And I know for me, my transformation actually started before I got to CR, because I told you I started reading the Bible, and the Lord changed my appetite. I had an appetite for the things of his ways and his kingdom versus having an appetite for the things of the world. And I had a big appetite for everything society and the world had. And what I would encourage you is to really dig into Romans 12:2, which says, do not be conformed to the ways of the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And how do you renew your mind? It's through the scriptures. So I talked about it at the BV intensive, but like my mind before following Jesus was so dark. Like, y'all don't even want to know the half of what I.
Now you was talking about the fantasy books.
Yeah, fantasy books. I used to meditate about death, like fantasize about dying in different ways. Like my mind was so dark, and it was renewed through the scriptures, and it was a heavy lift. Like, so if the enemy is coming against me with like, I feel like church is just hot topic lust, but people deal with so much more than just lust. It's lust, it's fear, condemnation, shame, self-pity. Self-pity was a big one for me because everything that my family went through, I just felt so bad for us. I felt bad for myself. So that was actually the root beginning of my fantasy. It wasn't sexual. Like I would fantasize about things to stay in that place of self-pity. So I would fantasize about heartbreak, just anything that would feed that emotion of like, whoa, I feel bad for myself, woe is me. And then it became sexual fantasy. Then it became like death stuff. Because what's that movie?
50 Shades of Grey?
No, it was that crazy movie where people was dying in crazy ways.
Final Fantasy.
No.
No.
Oh,
Final Destination. My fault.
That movie was crazy. But I used to just think about different ways I was gonna die.
Dang,
like my mind was dark, and for so many ways, my thought life, the way I saw myself, the way I talked about myself to myself, it was so dark. And I didn't get freedom until I started reading the Bible and replacing those lies with God's truth. So I would encourage whoever wants to receive that type of personal transformation, it's at your fingertips. Like get a Bible. And at least for me, what I did, I categorized scriptures for every stronghold and sin pattern that I had. And whenever temptation would come or whenever a fantasy would come, I'd be like, nope, I have the mind of Christ. I'm praying scriptures for it. And over time is like, let's say I have like, this is a random number. Let's say I have 70 sexual fantasy thoughts a day.
That's crazy.
In renewing my mind, that number then turns to 60, then it turns to 50. It's just over time of practicing the ways of Jesus and reading the scriptures. And so it's
it really works.
It really, really does.
Like, and nothing that really works is too that y'all taught me, it was like the 4 R's. It really worked. Like, I thought that I was somebody that literally, and I was telling Bree this the other day, I legit thought that, like, I literally gave up pastoral positions because I thought that I could not give up lust.
Wow.
Like, I literally was like, on a pastoral team, getting trained to be a pastor. And we literally had leadership, but not even leadership, we had a pastoral meeting. And I don't know if I ever told the story on here before, but we had a pastoral meeting. And Minister Mike was preaching to us about being pure and being pure-hearted and all the things. And I literally left that meeting. I'm in a whole pastor's group chat with like 6 other people that's being trained to be pastor, with Minister Mike, with Pastor Danny. And I literally was like, when I left there, Minister Mike was like, Aaliyah, I know how you feeling right now. Don't leave him, make no rash decisions. But he didn't know that it was, I already typed the message up in my phone and I was just waiting to send it. So I got in my car, I texted and said, I do not want to be a pastor anymore. I stepped down because I'm not giving up sex. I literally thought I was a person who could never do that. Yeah. And to be this deep in that I am, and to not even like, I don't struggle. Yeah. Like, it used to be such a struggle for me. It doesn't bother me at all no more, but it came with literally renewing my mind. Yeah. Like every single day, to the point where if I wake up and have a dream that was sexual, I'm getting up instantly.
We handling business.
And we going into prayer, period. Because who gave you permission to enter my dream? Yeah. I haven't dwelled on any thoughts. I haven't watched anything crazy. I haven't listened to anything crazy. So who gave you legal reign to come into my bedroom and think you could have this type of, you know what I'm saying, dream or fantasy or whatever in my head? Anyway, so I say that to say, yes, second thing I wanted to speak on before we had moved on was like what she was saying about discipleship. Literally, bro, it's so crazy how important discipleship is, and the power is in the gospel. The power is literally in the gospel. It's so many people that I talked to on tour where all I did was go up to them and spread the gospel in his tears, because it's power in the gospel. I don't have to like say anything crazy or do it. Like, I don't even have to like turn my gifts on. The power is literally in the gospel. Did you know that Jesus came, lived, died, and rose for your sins? Like, it's in the gospel. And so one thing that Carlton said, a scripture that he broke down, and I will literally never forget this. I remember he said it so clearly that I literally went in the bathroom and called Dez and was like, babe, he just broke this scripture down like this. This is crazy. So I normally read from like the Message or NLT or whatever, but he literally read it from KJV. And it's the scriptures, Matthew 28:19, that we all love. Go into the world, create disciples, into the nations, baptizing them and teach them to obey the law. But in KJV, it says, as you go into the world, meaning as you're doing life, meaning whatever you're doing in life, it does not matter what it is, as you go, meaning don't matter if you know your purpose, don't matter if you know what's next. It says as you go. That means as you're in the grocery store, as you're at the gas station, as you go into life, make disciples, baptize them, teach them to spread the gospel. We're supposed to do this any and everywhere. It's as we go into life, not once we go through CR school,
right? Or you don't even have to be in ministry at all.
You don't have to be
at all.
Because again, it's in the gospel. You don't have to do nothing extra. You don't have to go up to nobody speaking in tongues or being prophetic or giving them words of knowledge, letting them know that you hear from the Lord. You just have to give them the gospel, and whether they receive it or not is up to them. And the Lord had to teach me on to it. They're not rejecting you when they say no. They're rejecting me. So I stopped walking away from like, dang, I still can't do this. I still can't like lead nobody to Christ. So walk away like, either you gonna accept him now or you gonna be on your knees confessing later on. So it's either one. Like I got so bold with evangelism that I started to go up to girls and was like, we have an event tonight. So if you don't want to receive him right now, you're going to receive him tonight. So which one do you want to do?
Came an ultimatum.
No, I did. Ask Bree. I did that. And the girl literally got saved at our event. She was like, I'm not gonna do it right now. And she came to the event. She got saved. I said, I told you it's gonna be the event. That's it. Incredible. I'm not. It's no debating
the gospel
because
works.
I don't have to do too much. It works. The blood still works.
That's why I tell people too that you don't have to get so hyped up on being on the pulpit.
Yeah,
because the pulpit is wherever you step at. Like you use it. I had a friend of mine who was trying to do that. Like, I want to be a preacher. I'm like, bro, you don't gotta try to be on this stage and behind no thing, bro. That the platform is people out there doing it all day.
Okay.
Because the church has made the pinnacle of success, like the being on the pulpit.
Facts. But it's not. That's not. It has. Man, they went into the world. It's beyond the four walls. I mean, the four walls is for the corporate. You know what I'm saying? We come in X, Y, and Z, but we're supposed to be on a mission. And I have a question, but I'm gonna wait till the next segment because I definitely want to hear your perspective on the Western culture.
And going into the nations, last thing, going into the nation don't mean you have to be sent out. It don't mean you have to be a missionary.
Yeah.
What we're doing right now as a radio show is going into the nation.
1000%.
What I do on my lash table, ask both of them today. They heard me preaching the gospel to this girl.
Yeah, we know that's what you do. Today. We know that's.
I don't like that's the nations. That's the masses, because you never know what that one person you talk to is going to go out and who they're going to touch. That's why I'm so like,
Power
it's so crazy. It's so crazy this conversation that we having, because your story is literally what I was telling the girls today. Like she just really felt like she's sitting in church or whatever, and she was just like, but yeah, I'm at my home church, but I'm not really learning anything. But the other churches are just too far. I said, do you want to be fed or not? Because if you want to stay untransformed, stay at your church where you not getting no type of revelation. You're not getting fed.
That passive Christianity stuff. You don't really want to be. You don't really want to be free,
bro. And then the next thing they go on to say is stuff like, "Oh, because I don't really get in my Bible like that." My thing is, bro, how are you understanding and eating the word from your pastors if they are interpreting? They're giving you their secondhand revelation. They're giving you their word, what they interpret from the scriptures, and they're giving it to you, but you never go back home to get into the word. And then next question be, when somebody prophesied to me, how do I know it's true? You test the spirit by the spirit. You don't know it because you don't go in the word.
Yeah.
So you will never know.
But that's another problem with the church.
Go into your westernized question.
So my question is, especially nowadays, especially in 2024, what are your views on the Western culture of the church? Like, where do you see it? What do you see it from your perspective, from your eyes, and where do you see it going? Like now, especially with the new generation who has a hunger for Christ, who has a thirst for it, they just don't understand it. So where do you see that? Like, where do you see the church now? Where do you see it going?
That's an amazing question. One, I think that our plight, I'm fully in Western Christianity too, so I'm talking about myself as well.
Absolutely.
We're so comfortable. Like we have so much comfort, so many entitlements. The amount of times that I'm thinking about myself all the time, like we're so self-consumed here. And that's the direct opposite of the gospel. The gospel is so outer focused And I think in the Western church, we're so me, I, self-preservation, self-focus, self-everything, that we're missing the opportunity to give. Like God so loved the world that he gave his only son. And I think that when you hear give, you think about generosity through like money, but like, how are you giving your time? How are you giving, like, how are you bringing discomfort to yourself in a way to experience and fellowship the suffering of Christ, of how he gave sacrificially? And so I think that's our plight of like, even how, because the Western church, we're rich in a way, because in the nations, they don't have the privileges that we have. They don't have the comforts that we have. And that's why you see God pouring out his spirit so crazy in the nations. I went to Kenya in 2019. We did a leadership training school there, and I have never seen the power of God move that way.
Wow.
Because the people were desperate. They were aware of their need for God. And in the West, we're not aware of how much we need God, because we don't corporately, we're not lacking in the way that others do. And so I think we're just stuck in our entitlements and our comforts, and we miss God because of it. Not that he doesn't pour out his spirit. He's generous with himself, but there's so much more that we can see. Like, I would love to see signs, miracles, and wonders in my day-to-day life, and I don't. And it's something I'm believing for. Yeah. But I just, and it's also a mystery of God. I don't know why I go to Nigeria or Kenya or somewhere else, India, and I see signs, miracles, and wonders. I'm like, dang, why can't I see it in the West? Like, what's up with the West? And so I'm definitely not I'm not well versed in like Western Christianity, this Western Christianity, that, but I do know that we are a comfortable people, and we got to get uncomfortable. Like even the Beatitudes, like blessed are the poor in spirit. People hear that and they think that it's like economically poor,
right?
But it's like, blessed are those who are aware that they are bankrupt without God.
Wow. That's
like
so good.
Blessed are those who are aware of their desperate need, like a life source. So it's like, I'm poor, I'm bankrupt, I have a deficit without God, and I'm aware that I need him. And so I think that a lot of non-Western nations, they caught that. They're aware of their bankruptcy outside of God.
So what do you see us going, like the direction?
I hope we going over there. I really hope we going over. I think the digital age, because like Gen Z, everyone spends their time on a digital landscape, whether it's social media, email, TV, whatever, radio show. I think we have an opportunity to reach the nations, like you were saying. We have an opportunity to reach so many people, but with the true gospel, because we have access to one another. Like for whatever reason on social media, I'm experiencing what someone in Nigeria can be experiencing, because social media has closed the gap between our distance.
Right. Yeah.
And so I think that we get to choose what direction we want it to go, and we can leverage that. We can leverage how bad. I mean, America's kind of a hot mess right now. If we realize how much we need God, like we will see God in different ways.
Right.
And so I'm not a cultural analyst, but I see the opportunity, and I know that it's up to, we have a choice of what direction we want to steer it in.
Cool.
I'm up for the challenge. The way I'm just getting convicted of, like, man, like I'm so entitled. Yeah. I'm so comfortable. Like, why is this getting pulled and I'm kicking and screaming? And so I guess my prayer is like, Lord, like, keep working on me, but also help me see by the Spirit and make me self-aware.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And so imagine if we all start praying that prayer. God would answer that, and we would be self-aware of our need.
Man. All right, look, man, we're gonna land this joint in just a brief moment. We got more of a Ramota when we come back, man. So y'all keep it locked. It's the Fresh Leftovers Radio Show.
Hit it. What's good? It's your boy T-Log, and you're listening to the Fresh Leftovers Radio Show.
Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your man, Legacy the Prince.
I am Queen Lee.
It's your boy DJ B4UY.
Yes, sir. It's the Fresh Leftovers Radio Show, flowradioshow.com. You know the vibes. We live and certified, man. Since we got it, man. I don't want to mess it up.
I don't want to mess that up.
We have the mega dream team builder.
Let's go.
I like that. So, what is that about? I mean, so you had something special you was gonna talk to us about. So I'm excited.
Okay, so let me preface by saying this.
Okay.
Mota is such a woman of freedom.
The GOAT.
She that's why she just spent that whole segment talking about freedom. Because Mota really want to see women, not women, but people in general set free. So with that being said, the Lord gave her something very special. Not even recently. She's been working on this for a while. So tell her about it.
Okay, so in it's like, do I start at the beginning? Do I start at the middle?
Yeah, take your time.
Okay, let's start with moda.com.
Okay.
What's funny is last time I was on a show with the whole team, you gave me a prophetic word.
Wow.
About what's happening right now. You probably don't remember.
I remember after our conversation. I was like, didn't I say something like, I don't know.
I don't remember the word exactly. It's like in my notes somewhere, but you gave me a word about like building my own thing type of thing.
Wow.
And so I remember mentioning that I was in Kenya. That time I was in Kenya in 2019, the Lord told me to occupy the World Wide Web. And so I'm like, what's that? And what does that mean? And I just kept it in my pocket because I'm like, I'm not about to try to crack the code. I'm gonna just wait for him to reveal what he's talking about. And over time, that's where moda.com came from. I was like, okay, because if you guys don't know, I'm like, I love media. Like I love the entire digital landscape. Is what I do specifically in CR. Okay. Alongside Black Voices. We have like an in-house media agency. So I help direct that with 3 other friends. And I'm passionate about reaching the young generation online where they are. That's my form of reaching the nations. And so when the Lord said that really was really intriguing to me. And fast forward to 2022, I think. I started an online like Bible study for women called The Huddle. It was sports themed because I'm a girl and I wanted to not be girly.
What?
The locker room.
Right, the locker room.
That's actually might be my podcast. We're gonna see. So I started this women's online Bible study called The Huddle. And so me, Evangelia, Victoria Smith, and Anasia Wiley, which y'all may or may not know those people, but those are my girls. We would rotate weekly Bible teachings, and it was a Discord, and for whatever reason, girls found out about it. And it was like 500 girls in the Discord, and they're from all over the world, like Brazil, France, UK, Nigeria, Kenya, literally everywhere. And every week we would just be going through the Brave Love Manual or going through the Freedom Manual, and God would meet us on those Zoom calls in such a powerful way where, girls were DMing me like, oh, Mota, I've been saved for 2 years. I've never been a part of anything this powerful.
Wow.
And it was just practical tools for freedom. What we know in the Freedom Manual is like 4 R's, joyful repentance, breaking down strongholds, working through injustice. And week by week, we would just go through those chapters and pray. And girls would experience real freedom that was like sustainable. Whereas like, you don't need to be you don't need to be attached to me to keep your freedom. Like this is between you and the Lord. That's what's up. And I'm helping you, I'm equipping you with tools to walk out your salvation with fear and trembling.
I like that.
And so, because I'm a missionary and I travel so much and I'm doing so much, so we started in August 2022, and then we kind of stopped this time last year, like April zone, because I couldn't sustain it weekly because we just do so much. Yeah. But over the past year, I spent a lot of time and a lot of resources really building it into a business called Mega Dream Team. So I want to help bring that level of transformation to women across the world still in a more sustainable way for me, but also in a replicable way that they can do it where they are. So Mega Dream Team is launching back online in June, but we're inaugurating the launch for the Mega Dream Team launch tour.
These girls having a tour.
I'm doing a tour. It starts here in Atlanta on Sunday, which Aaliyah is going to be a part of our panel.
With this Sunday?
Yeah, this Sunday.
That's crazy.
And the events, they're not worship events. They're not like a service. They're panel discussions with like mocktails. I really wanted to bring the online experience in real life where girls are connecting with one another around their transformation, being honest and vulnerable, and just creating a space for transformation to take place within the context of community and sisterhood. Because it's one thing to have the tools or like understand the science of freedom, of like knowing the stuff, but then the art of freedom is practicing it. And it's practiced well within the context of community. Like all that I know is just gonna be like, I need you. I need my other friends. I need my friends and my community to help. I call it a community, a steroid for personal transformation, because it really does accelerate your process and your formation in Jesus. I really value people growing in community, in a local church, in a campus ministry, sitting under Bible teaching with actual pastoral leadership. Like I value all of that. And so Mega Dream is not an online church or anything like that, but I just want to be almost like a coach or a trainer to help support girls along their journey of being formed into Jesus.
Let's go! So that is absolutely amazing.
That's exclusive.
Yeah, we gotta cut this ASAP. Throw this out. That is amazing.
I'm really excited. So it starts in Atlanta. Then I'm doing my hometown, Newark, New Jersey, on May 5th. Then I'm doing London on May 18th.
This girl is doing London.
Yo, you got like, you sent the invites out and everybody's like, yo, sold out. We pulling up. Like,
it's not sold out yet.
Come on now, let me prophesy.
People are buying tickets. Please, this is like probably the most courageous thing I've ever done. I don't know what I'm doing. It's all like just faith. Like,
that's the best part.
Like I don't have it all figured out. Like I feel crazy because I've only done ministry and leadership within the context of CR and resting place, and this feels very much like I'm out on my own. And so it's daunting. I pray into every single thing because I'm like, Lord, I don't want to take a wrong step. Not that he's not merciful enough to just redirect the course if I go off course, but I just have the fear of the Lord over it, because I mean, it's been dream after dream. The Lord cares about these women. Like, it's not even like, oh, Mota, here's this amazing project for you to work on. No, he cares about these women and he wants them to experience freedom. I've had favor in provision of providing for this tour. Like I picked up a branding client randomly. I don't even take clients because I don't have capacity for it. I picked up a massive client that basically is funding this tour.
Wow.
Like, because I was gonna ask that.
Yeah. Like, and so I just know God is on it. Like I've had favor with venues. I mean, the venues are beautiful.
Yeah.
And I take inspiration from like secular, like all of my inspirations, they're not like really, I mean, I'm inspired by church folk, but like in terms of like building this into a business, there's
Why you laugh, Legacy?
There's a women's community for women founders called Female Founder World. I don't know if you know Every Stylish Girl. Like they have these fun in real life events to bring people together. But helping bring training and resources to whatever their niche is. And I'm like, where is that for women in Christianity? Like, yes, I will never forsake the worship service, the preaching of the word, but I think there's a place for conversation and just like community being together. And I want to help curate spaces for women to connect with one another in their growth journey. So whether you are curious about following Jesus and you're kind of like, okay, what does that look like? Mega Dream Team is for you. If you've been already following Jesus and you just want to take your formation, your spiritual formation more seriously, it's for you. Or if you've been following Jesus forever and you just maybe feel like you hit a plateau, like wherever you are on your spectrum, like I'm calling it a global community of growing women. Like we all just want to grow and not plateau in our walk, because we'll be forever being transformed into his image, into a person of love. And so I'm excited about that. I'm a girl's girl. So
after the tours, this is turned into a what?
It's going to be, after the tour is over, we're going to have like online programming. So like Bible studies, group coaching calls. I want to do prayer calls. I remember like being on, like, if you're Nigerian, you on somebody's prayer call somewhere. And
dang, I was
keep missing it, bro.
You gotta open your mouth.
I want to put a value for prayer into the community. praying and confessing scripture. Like that's how you renew your mind. And so all of that, all the online programming will be free, but then all our in-person events will be ticketed.
That's good though.
Yeah.
What's the do you know you already had the pricing now for it?
For the tour, the tickets are $35. That's we're gonna have mocktails and cutie girls.
It's like a 1-day event, or
it's a 1-day event from 2 to 5. So it's not during the lunch hour, not during the dinner hour, and then we could just hang out after and probably just go to dinner, whatever we want to do. Yeah.
So what is your game plan for balancing Mega Dream Team?
Yes.
Black Voices.
Yes.
Circuit Riders. All of those things at the same time.
I am building a team.
Thank you. Well, that's
so smart.
Kaylin.
Oh my God.
I could pass out on this floor right now. I am so grateful for Kaylin. Kaylin is on our exec team. Yes. She's on our Black Voices executive leadership team, but she said yes to helping me build. She just started like 2 weeks ago. First day crunching numbers. I can't count.
She lives on her computer.
She's precise. And she's an incredible leader. So she's gonna be like my right hand, helping me build. And then I still need more help. I would love to bring her on as like events and operations. I would need like a content and community lead. But I want to keep the team small, mini dream team. And there's no way I could do it without team because I can't do it myself.
Yeah. Wow. That's definitely
and I wouldn't be living my message if I was doing it by myself.
True.
Please.
Yeah. I commend you for that though. I commend you for what you're doing because that's a big thing and it's definitely needed, especially the part where you mentioned that it don't have to always be about like the worship portion. I think it's a time and a place for everything.
Yeah.
And I feel that more dialogue is needed than just necessarily like always one-way communication thing, especially now.
Yeah.
So I commend you for sure.
Yeah. We need all of it. Like, I mean, I was born in a prayer room, like born again. Okay. Like I value the presence. I value worship. But we need fellowship and we need conversation and even biblical transformation. Like Christian growth is defined as renewing the mind. That happens within the context of the scriptures and being opened within the context of community. Yeah. And so I'm just excited. I don't have it all figured out. It might be a year from now and I'm saying something totally different. I'm learning every day I go, and the Lord is making it more clear. He's refining the message. But I want to help girls get free and stay free.
One step at
and
a time.
have fun, because Christianity is very fun.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm having the time of my life.
That's fun.
I cannot wait. This is about to be amazing.
No, that's tough. That's dope. That's really, really dope. Like, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's real tough.
Y'all, the messages that the girls from, like, when I first started with Semi, I'm like, I would be shook. I'm like, what is God doing? And how am I a part of this? Like, it's almost like how we felt when we discovered the simple principles of getting free. It's life-changing. It's like, wow, why did no one tell me this? Like, I didn't have to live in bondage, and I'm just attending services.
And I didn't know I was in bondage?
Yeah.
That's simple
the
principles of getting free.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even be knowing that you are bound.
Yeah.
You thought about writing a book?
I do want to write a book.
You should.
That'll be
definitely should.
Okay. So I don't have my roadmap completely figured out, but I do want to have a course online, and I want to have a company book with it. So timing, clarity, all that will come. I'm just obeying God one step at a time. He says, start the community and nurture them. Yeah. And so we'll figure out the rest as we go. I'm excited.
I'm so proud of you.
That's powerful, man. Mota, look, let them know where they can follow you, where they can cop some tickets, where they can, just keep up with the website to know what town you're going to be in next, all that good stuff.
You can follow me on Instagram at mota.com. That's MOTADOTCOM. And then my website, all that jazz, is on the Instagram. But yeah, that's where you can find me. You can actually find me anywhere with that handle.
Big facts. Big facts. Sis, you got anything?
No.
Nah, we closing out. Mota, thank you for pulling up on us, man. I'm super excited.
I am honored. Y'all have something incredible going here. So I told Aaliyah, it felt an honor to just be in y'all space, having conversations with you guys. And y'all inspire me so much. What you're doing in the digital realm is so needed. And like, we need more of it. because I can't stand how much noise is out there with everybody having a podcast, it's just chatting, not really saying anything that can help people. And you guys, like all the clips I see, all the episodes I listen to, I'm like, wow, these stories need to be heard. So thank you guys for creating a space like this and inviting me into it. I'm so thankful.
Absolutely, yo. Doors are always open for you.
Yay.
Always.
Yeah.
I got a little upset when you was like, oh, y'all really want me over? Yes. I was like, sis.
Sure.
I told sis.
And then we already didn't get to hear from you last time.
Yeah.
Because you was on a meeting the whole time.
Yeah, she pulled in at the end. Pulled up at the end.
Pulled up at the end, sat on the little couch, had her little wireless mic. Like,
a little corded mic.
Yeah, a little corded mic. Yeah, I just got something to say
adjust
real
the
quick.
camera.
Drop a bomb on us and now the show over. Like, we got to go. No.
Yeah, I'm like, she got to come back. She built her own community team, all these things now, and she got to come back by herself.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
grateful.
And anytime you got anything going on, sis, pull up.
Atlanta's a home to me, so I'll be back.
Okay. Pull up. Definitely.
Keep us definitely in the know what's going on.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, we need to add some of that stuff to the website.
Big facts. We gonna. Oh yeah. When you get rolling, we gonna plaster it on the
tickets,
website.
the flyers, all
For
that
sure.
stuff. Let us know so we can again, like, we need to be.
Put a website up.
We trying to put it up. Like, we trying to actually have that information so we can spread it out.
Wow.
That's the goal. There's a lot going on out here, and a lot of people doing some great things.
Yeah.
And we just need to be able to help each other push it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We
That's
all
what
on the
we-
same team.
Same team, man.
team.
Same team. One band, one sound.
One band, one sound.
Wow.
All right, Moda, we love you, man. Thank you for pulling up on us. FlowRadioShow.com. Make sure you tap in with Moda.com.
Moda.com. Moda.com.com.
Moda.com, all her websites and all her stuff, man. Moda, thank you for pulling up on us. We love you.
I love you guys.
Big facts. We out. Peace.